Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Our journey today begins in Russia, in St. Petersburg. To be precise, St. Petersburg is a city located in the northwestern part of Russia, on the coast of the Baltic Sea, and was founded in 1703 by Tsar Peter the Great. St. Petersburg was the capital of the Russian Empire for over 200 years, until the Revolution of 1917, and the city is also famous for its architectural beauty, with many historic buildings of great artistic and cultural value. Among these is the Hermitage, one of the largest museums in the world, which houses a vast collection of works of art, including masterpieces by artists such as Rembrandt, Rubens, and Leonardo da Vinci. The Cathedral of St. Basil, located in Palace Square, is an Orthodox cathedral that is an icon of St. Petersburg. The cathedral is famous for its colorful domes and unique architecture, which make it one of the most photographed monuments in the city. We cannot forget the Catherine Palace, located about 30 kilometers from St. Petersburg. This imposing palace was built for Catherine the Great in the 18th century. The palace is famous for its luxurious ballrooms, art galleries, and the Amber Room, a room completely covered in panels of golden amber, one of the most precious artistic treasures in the world. St. Petersburg is also famous for its cold and snowy climate, lively nightlife, and refined culture, with a strong musical and theatrical tradition. Here, a young adventurer in 1828 founded his first watchmaking company. The young entrepreneur was Swiss and his name was Heinrich Moser. He was born in 1805 into a family of watchmakers and grew up surrounded by these works of art. As he grew older, he developed a passion for watches and a desire to establish himself as an expert at the international level. Having great ambitions, he opened his new shop in St. Petersburg and soon set to work creating high-quality watches that would soon become famous all over the world. He chose St. Petersburg not by chance, as at that time it was one of the main cultural and economic centers of the Russian Empire, so the city offered many opportunities for growth and development for European entrepreneurs and craftsmen. So Heinrich Moser saw the opportunity to expand his market and introduce his high-quality watches to Russian customers, and therefore decided to move to Russia, soon becoming one of the leading watchmakers in the Russian Empire. It was not easy, as Moser faced many obstacles and difficulties in the early years, including competition from other watchmakers and the economic challenges of Russia at that time. However, Moser was determined to realize his dream, and continued to work hard to improve his company. In 1848, Moser opened a new watch factory in Schaffhausen, Switzerland, and began producing high-quality watches for the Swiss and European markets. Within a few years, Moser and CIE became one of the most important watchmakers in Switzerland, and its reputation for quality and innovation began to spread around the world. Despite his success, Moser remained a man committed not only to business, but also to politics and social justice, so that in 1867, he was elected a member of the Swiss National Council and worked for the abolition of the death penalty in Switzerland. Although in the end, Moser would be remembered primarily for his watches, which continued to push the limits of technology and engineering. Over the decades, Moser and CIE launched a series of innovative watches, including the first watch with a date window, the first waterproof wristwatch, and the first watch with a date hand. Moser over the years started several workshops, which were used to produce replacement parts for his watches, and also built a dam and turbine on the Rhine River, and the energy obtained was used for his factory's power supply. In 1874 Heinrich Moser died, and after his death, the company was inherited by his son, Henry Moser, who was initially called Heinrich Moser Jr., but later changed his name to Henry Moser to avoid confusion with his father. Henry Moser was a shrewd entrepreneur who successfully managed the family business and brought it to grow despite his lack of personal passion for watches. He tried to diversify the company's activities into other areas, such as the production of time measurement instruments and the construction of electric trains, which were booming at that time. However, he did not neglect the production of high-quality watches, and Moser and CIE continued to maintain its reputation for excellence in the production of Swiss luxury watches. So Henry continued to manage the family business until 1900, when the company was sold to the Mailand family. The decline of the company happened in 1918, when the family companies were dismantled in St. Petersburg due to the Russian Revolution and the expropriation of foreign property. Subsequently, Swiss Moser and CIE continued to exist as an independent company under the guidance of other family members, although even for the Swiss company things didn't go smoothly, as during the First World War, the company suffered severe damage due to the embargo imposed by the Allied countries against Germany, the main market for Swiss watchmaking exports. In 1918, the Swiss company launched one of its most iconic watches, the Moser Perpetual, which featured a perpetual calendar and a power reserve indicator. In the 1920s and 1930s, H. Moser and CIE continued to produce high-quality and innovative watches, including pocket watches with complications such as a split-seconds chronograph. The split-seconds function is a type of complication that is often found in wrist chronographs. It uses a delicate and complex mechanism to allow the measurement of intermediate times simultaneously with the use of the chronograph function. In other words, the split-seconds chronograph allows you to stop one of the chronograph seconds hands, leaving the other one in motion, and then resume timing when desired. This particular function is highly appreciated by watch enthusiasts as it is very useful in races and represents a real challenge for the watchmaker who builds it. In 1925, the company introduced the Moser 20, a water-resistant wristwatch with an 18-karat gold case, while in 1930, the company introduced the Moser 27, a wristwatch with a 15 rubies movement. Rubies in watches, especially in automatic watches, but also in quartz watches, are used as a surface on which the rotor pivot and all the other moving parts of a watch rest. The 1940s and 1950s were also a difficult period for the company due to strong competition and post-war economic difficulties. In the 1960s, H. Moser and CIE presented the Chrono Alarm, a wristwatch that combined a chronograph with an alarm. In 1967, the company launched the Concept 2000, a mechanical wristwatch with an ultra-thin movement that was only 2.5 mm thick. This watch was one of the first to feature a fully integrated movement. Since 1979, the company has been owned by the Dixie Mechanic Group, which never pushed the company hard enough, forcing it to maintain a low level of production, despite the watchmaking continuing to maintain a very high profile. In 1985, the company introduced the Flying Tourbillon, a movement that revolutionized the luxury watch industry. This type of tourbillon was designed to counteract the effects of gravity on the movement of the watch, improving the precision and reliability of the watch. In 1999, H. Moser and CIE introduced the Moser Perpetual Calendar, a watch with a perpetual calendar, a power reserve indicator, and a moon phase display. Although the company made some improvements or novelties to these works of art, it was never able to return to the splendor that surrounded it in its early years. The first turning point came in 2005 when the company was acquired by Jürgen Lang together with Heinrich Moser's great-grandson, and production returned to Schaffhausen. The H. Moser and CIE brand was also re-registered. In the same year, the company presented the Mayu, a watch equipped with a completely in-house developed movement and contemporary design. 2005 was also the year in which the company celebrated its 175th anniversary, and to mark the event, the Perpetual 1 model was launched, the Access World's first watch with an automatic movement that uses the pre-command principle. In 2013, H. Moser and CIE introduced the Pioneer Collection, a collection of sports watches with a modern design and water resistance up to 120 meters, and in the following years, the company continued to innovate, presenting the Flying 2-axis tourbillon, a jumping seconds indication, and a hidden date indicator. H. Moser and CIE is known for the production of high-quality and innovative watches that combine the elegance of Swiss design with the precision and reliability of mechanical movement. Arriving at 2021, H. Moser and CIE launched the Pioneer Center Seconds watch, a sports watch with a steel case and rubber strap. Now, what can be said with certainty is that the history of H. Moser and CIE has been characterized by ups and downs, including the economic crisis of the 1930s and the increasingly fierce competition from other Swiss watch brands. However, thanks to its reputation for quality and innovation, the company has been able to overcome difficulties and remain an important presence in the world of luxury watchmaking. Today, H. Moser and CIE is considered one of the most exclusive and prestigious brands in the industry, and continues to produce high-quality watches with a special focus on design and innovation. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's all for today. Thank you for your attention and don't forget to subscribe. hit the like button and read us in the comments what you think of our videos.
All my people.